Welcome to Beyond the Muscle. Pleased to welcome our next guest, Joshua Conde. A lot of you know who Josh is. He is a coach, he is a judge, and he was my prep coach for 2024, which was my comeback season, and it was a lot of fun. And Josh is obviously an athlete as well. He's done a few shows, so yeah, he's very experienced in this game, and he's my first returning guest. Welcome, Josh. It's really good to catch up with you. How are things going?
Thanks, man. Yeah, obviously, really appreciate it. Really enjoying the podcast as well. It's literally like a nice little Monday morning for me, as always. Haven't gone on the Alberto Nunez one yet, so looking forward to listening to that. But glad to be back. In regards to myself, all's been good, thankfully. And yeah, literally, we're just saying, just briefly, off air, so to say, just a nice weekend. It was birthday weekend and then first client show day weekend as well. So yeah, all great stuff. And yeah, that's it. It's all good from
Mm.
there. Aside from that, I think athlete wise, finally get back into the groove of things. December had a minor, was a grade one tear in my pec, left pec there. That kind of really put a damper on a lot of things. As always, I never injure myself in big movements. It's so annoying.
Right, right.
I got everybody thinks because the much as I love deadlifting, people always think I injure myself with that, but I've never injured myself with a deadlift. It's always
Right.
something. This time I was doing just simple dips with not 100 kg weighted, just 15 kg belt, simple dips, full range of motion, all that, nice controlled, went down, pop. And I'm just like, what is that? What's going on there? Thankfully, it was just a grade one. And yeah, so just been working back from that. And the other really cool thing as well is I have been prescribed to have to do half reps when doing chest movements. So
Ah,
there you go, guys. If you see me doing half reps, you can't say nothing. All right. It's
what
because
half we talking? The top half or the bottom half?
yeah, the top, well, not top bottom half. Can't be fully stretching. It's
Okay, okay.
probably the
Yeah, yeah.
ego part,
The ego
obviously.
part. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Like that. But no, seriously, he's like, no, don't go past here. That's going to be too much. But we still want to work around it. So I'm like, wait,
Fair
okay.
enough.
No, I'm not racking up PRs, don't worry.
That's
It's
fair.
just
Yeah.
simple controlled weights and just yeah, it does I'm not gonna lie, it feels so weird.
Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah, because I've been doing a lot more of even like just the bottom half recently, or maybe two thirds, and on some movements just excluding that contraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to do it the other way, that must be weird. But you're right about the injury thing, because it's never on big movements for me. I injure myself doing the most innocuous of movements, like it was a couple of years ago. I was feeding the cat, bending down in the kitchen, and just something happened to my knee. And I was like, "Oh, yep." And it became all swollen, inflamed, and I was out for a few days. Yeah, it's never on big movements. So annoying. Getting old.
Don't get it, mate. Honestly, don't get it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like I
weird.
said, either way, we're getting better from it now. So yeah,
Hmm.
just hopefully this keeps going. That's all.
Yeah. And training's going well. All good.
Getting better, yeah, getting better. It's obviously when that happened, December, if January and February was mostly spent most things at maintenance. And then just yeah, just trying to make sure you're doing something there. It's a bit of a weird one for me because and injuries happen, I can leg volume can is okay, as long as it's not a leg injury. I feel like it's my upper body is lacked a bit more now, which is so annoying.
Right.
But yeah, I guess it's just another thing with training with legs. You can really keep that going, kind of, especially if your upper body injury wise. And I feel like this is why a lot of people who, don't progress with legs, I think it's just a lot of you just mentally still don't want to train them. Like that's
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's something that even though it's such a big muscle group and everything, like you can really still keep that going no matter what is going on. And I've seen people in there with slings still, and they're still, getting
Mm.
leg working done. So yeah, and I actually think it's actually improved a bit, which is quite cool. But yeah, keen to really make sure that I can get back to doing everything, which I want to, and then start really like, okay, let's push on again. Because I feel like this, even though I've been away from the stage for a while now, I don't think I've had almost 3 years of an off season. It feels like I've had almost like a year and a half, really.
Right.
It's too many of the niggles have kind of like put a halt on things.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. How do you think your physique's looking in terms of? I know it's hard because you're off season. There's some fluff
Yeah.
there, obviously, but how
Oh
are
yeah.
things
Oh yeah.
looking?
It's not the good looking fluff. That's the best way
Yeah,
I can
right,
put it.
right.
Is that when you're this deep in, and I've had what was it? I've had one sort of a mini cut, just quick
Mhm.
6 weeks tidy up. Yeah, I'm not because that's the other as well. Trying to make sure I'm not just trying to like, okay, let me just cut down now. Let me this is that.
Mm,
Yeah, I am in the uncomfortable stage of off season where uncomfortable in the sense of where it just doesn't really. There's not much. There's nothing sexy about the look, basically. Let's
yeah.
basically put it. But in regards to I'm not comfortable in day to day. That's fine. Everything's cool there. I'm not like can't walk up steps or anything. Or my shoelace kind of rubbish.
Yeah.
And also because again, I'm just always someone who in the off season, body composition is never going to be the best looking. Never going to be the best. And so I always have to judge it by again how my previous off season, that kind of stuff. And I'm actually quite good with it. Where things are at. And also another weird thing that's happened. Apparently, I've gotten shorter.
Really?
Don't
How
know
tall are
what's
you?
going on. I am usually dead on 6 foot. But late the other day, because one of my clients was like, who was well in there, a lot more elderly than me, was talking about how like they think they shrunk as they're going older, and they were like, I need to check my height. And then obviously, I in my one-to-one sessions, I have we have a height, for what's called, we can check our height there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I told him again, and he's like, yeah, it looks like I've lost a couple of centimeters. I'm like, oh,
Mm.
that's weird. No, maybe this thing is weird. Let me check mine. And then I went on and I was like, I'm just under 6 foot. What?
Right.
What? I mean, I don't know. It's an off-season thing. Is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Was that? Did I have the reverse effect of having padding in my foot or something when I'm lean or I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was so strange. So yeah, I'm a little bit short. So um, in a weird way, it's actually kind of cool because. I know as you know again with bodybuilding, the illusion, I think that kind
Mm.
of helped my look
Yeah. Yeah.
in a weird way. So yeah, all interesting stuff, but yeah, you
That,
probably don't get too much of that.
that is, yeah, that's weird. I've as far as I know, I'm still like 5'9", but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to get much shorter. I can't afford to. I'm at my my lowest end of what's acceptable. No, that's not true.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's all the deadlifts you're doing, pulling you down towards the ground.
So whatever it is, mate, it's kind of plus and minus. My wife jokingly said, "You're such a fraud. You sold me on 6 foot." What's going on? Like, first of all, like, what are you on about? All right,
Yeah,
like, no, it's not happening, mate.
that's brilliant.
Um, but yeah, no, it's yeah, like I said, one of those weird things that happen out
Yeah,
there. We check it again the other day. Maybe I'm 6 foot again. Who knows?
maybe you got two options. You can start wearing heels, or you can get that leg lengthening
I
surgery, and
know,
you're
man.
fine.
It's like such harsh life, mate. I wonder what these 5'2" guys are doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's me going talking about the drama. My wife talking
Mm,
about it, she's just not sure anymore. And
yeah, that is funny.
God, I'm literally just it's just under six. It's not the resume anymore. You
It's
can't really.
not. It's not. You're not 6 foot anymore. That's great. So yeah, Josh, you're going to a few shows this year. Been to one already. I'm planning on going to a few just as a kind of spectator. So yeah, you're going to be going to a few. What are you planning on going to? There's quite a list, isn't there? So maybe.
There is. I'm gonna see if I can do it off the top of my head. No list.
Mhm.
Oh, I think best way to go is just literally order. We've just had the PCA first time as Birmingham. Um, Up next is in America. Don't think I'm going to it.
Right.
Say that because hey, impulse, you never know, but it's most likely not. It would really be cool too because it's the Sydney Gidlin, what's it called? The is it seven-time Olympian? She is now, figure Olympian. Her show in out in Atlanta. Alexandra, my client, is doing that NPC show. So yeah, gonna be moving into the fit model category for this one as well. So that'll be interesting. We just want to know, like, realistically, could a physique actually be more matched for that, basically, in regards to that category? It's not about, oh my gosh, yeah, this is the hype and it must be the one because she actually did quite well in bikini in her first season, to be honest. But it's just like let's just see. Let's see what is going to be quite suited there. It might be for her. So we got that show in Atlanta. Don't think I'm going to it, but then the next one will be in July. Two Bros show. So that's again NPC over here in the UK for those who don't know. Laura will be up on that. I think it's in Wigan. The two bros are very strange. They take a while in releasing like confirmation venues and everything, so I'm not too sure about that. So it could be Wigan, it could be Maidenhead. I don't know where else are they used. I think that's pretty much it, but I don't know. Yeah. And then we've got after that shows start picking up when we're in July. We got another two bros. Now this is the pro qualifier, which hopefully Laura will be doing. And again, not sure where that one is. And then the next one will be PCA Naturals in Kettering, which is I believe just heading up north still before your Birmingham and Coventry and everything. And then we've got going into I think it's. Have I missed anything? No, then we start getting into your BMBF shows. I have nobody in BMBF at the moment. However,
Mm.
I'm going to be going to them. I always love going to BMBF,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you can see the top there, but yeah, always
Yeah,
got
yeah.
yeah,
Love it.
BMBF is always, something at heart there. So I'm going to be going to that, especially Southern. It's just, it's like 40-minute drive for me. That's
Mm.
low,
Yeah,
so
same. I love that
definitely looking
venue.
forward to that. And I think they start in August, I believe
Mm.
as well. So we'll be going to some of those WNBF Supernaturals. We're going to that. Oh, I have missed one. Probably be judging at in the WNBF First Timers in June.
Oh, cool.
So again, that'll be Luton as well. Same venue for Supernaturals in September. No clients for the first timers, but like I said, I'll probably be judging there. And then in September, I'll have some clients for Supernaturals as well. And then we got PCA finals, which again, hopefully my clients was qualified for as well in September. And then yeah, this is where I'm just not like I don't know where else is happening. Most likely, UK FBA finals. MBW most likely as well. We were flirting with doing some of overseas shows as well, but there's a lot of clashes going on. So that'll be again not too sure how that goes because I was we're talking to a few clients, very intrigued to see if they wanted to go out to the AMBF in Austria,
Mm.
which is such great production and everything.
Yeah.
Um, for example, with Laura, because there is no bikini in BNBF here, there is no bikini category, but there is obviously under the whole DFAC and the NBF, there are all these other what's called under the umbrella, so to say. There is the bikini category, and when you go to the DFAC Worlds, they do have bikini amateur and pros. However, like for her to be able to make the FAC Worlds, she would probably obviously need to, I don't know, get a special invite from Vicky or something,
Right.
or she could probably go out to MBF and compete as an amateur,
Yeah.
as we've seen with what's his name again at your finals. What's it called? Is it Christian? What's his name again? I forgot his name.
The Italian guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot his name.
Christian
That's
Guastella.
it.
Yeah. Mm.
Christian, yeah. So like he's done there. He's come over. Even
Yeah.
though he has his shows he could have gone to. Obviously with Laura, she doesn't have one here, so it'd be nice. Be nice to enjoy the production over there.
Yeah.
It looks so awesome.
Mm.
And Michael as well was someone else who were flirting with that. There was Evo Classic in Germany. We're thinking about as well. A really cool show where there's no pros. You're all just competing together.
Okay.
So very interesting one. But the cool thing about that one is again production and everything, but also prize money for it so you could be an amateur getting prize money.
Great.
I think it's up to the point of where like winning your class. Evo Classic was another one.
Yep.
You get prize money and yeah, you could be they just have classes and it's just like that. So you literally could be competing against a pro in your class or not. I know some people out there in Germany I spoke to. They said it's been a bit interesting because some obviously their coaches might be a pro and then their
Mm.
client is an amateur. It's like in the
Right.
same class. Like yeah. So but the cool thing is obviously it's not about pro card, so you're not taking away a pro card.
Yeah.
It's who's the best and in regards to also who takes home the money. Like it's quite
Mm.
good. I think you get like for about 1,500 euros for the class and then the
Mhm.
overall 3,000. So yeah, not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Um, but yeah, again, that clashes with some stuff here in the UK. So yeah, and then obviously your worlds and everything. Again, depending on clients making it and if they are going to be going. So yeah, that's pretty much the long rundown. Probably missed a few things, but yeah, that's what I can remember.
No, nice one. Yeah, you did well to remember all that. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, yeah, and I hope I can see you at least one, maybe a couple of shows this year as well. Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
go to the BNBF Southern. 'Cause yeah, good memories of that place. So yeah, I definitely want to go back there.
Yeah.
But
You've had a lot of good memories now. That's
yeah, yeah, not just last year, but obviously 2015 my debut season. But yeah, definitely last year. I do like that venue too.
Did you have you had a did Bertrand do that as well?
No, when I coached him in 2016, he did the BMBF Central, but that was in
Ah,
London at the time. St.
oh yeah, when they still had
Albans.
Central. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And that was a really cool, that was a really good atmosphere, actually. That show. I think BMBF shows are generally an amazing atmosphere, but that one was very special in 2016, I remember. But yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, so one of the reasons I want to have a chat with you is we're going to kind of have a chat and talk about who we feel like the GOATs, the greatest natural bodybuilders of all time. So, yeah, I can see my knowledge of natural bodybuilding is good to a point, but going back very far and it becomes a bit hazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I imagine you're going to be a bit more knowledgeable on this than I am, but this is going to be a fun chat. Before we do, I wanted to chat about this Mike Sommerfeld post that we discussed off air actually before. So I don't really follow the enhanced side of things,
Yeah.
but Mike Sommerfeld, classic bodybuilder, he put out a post, and I don't remember exactly what it said because it has been edited, and it basically alluded the point he was trying to make was that genetics are just simply not important in bodybuilding. And I feel a few things about this. Like, firstly, I think, like I've said before, like people can use genetics as a crutch for sure. It's
Oh yeah.
like, yeah, you think they can basically blame genetics while they're not doing well and almost not aim high enough. And yeah, that's just never a good thing. You're born with what you've got
Yeah.
and you've got to just kind of do the best with that. But he basically said they're not important, and then he went back and kind of changed his post. He seemed to get a lot of backlash from that, and yeah, I think me and you probably think the same thing that people can use it as a crutch, but it's clearly important in bodybuilding. I think you look at any sport, and the guys and the girls. They all have a certain kind of build about them. There's always a look. Now, bodybuilding is interesting because you do get people that do well with very different looks. But
Mm.
the one thing they
Yeah.
have in common is they generally have big shoulders, a small waist, and like
Yeah.
really that kind of bubbly muscle look.
Yeah.
So yeah, and obviously it's ironic because the guy's got amazing genetics, and he's saying that it's not important. But yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, like pretty much, yeah, fully agree. Pretty much the same with you. And yeah, hilarious because yeah, in reading the post, he clearly has edited it because it
Yeah.
now is saying as not as much, that kind of thing. I think also because, from what I can tell, because again, I don't actually really follow him that much, but then just looking back at most of his posts, I think he's trying to be a bit more vocal, as he's
Right.
obviously trying to now take the mantle, in regards to being the classic physique. Olympia champion or basically being the face of it, so to say. So I don't know. I feel like he feels like he needs to now start having a voice, that kind of thing. And I don't know. Maybe this is not the voice. I think from what I can tell, like again, I don't know that well, but I don't know if he's then someone who's got the educator sort of thing. In regards to in his place in the fitness industry. I think clearly it's more his physique does the talking.
Mm.
Probably motivate. He's an inspiration. He's motivational. And again, it's just someone who works hard and everything. But it's like, for example, you wouldn't see what's the best way to put it now? It's like seeing Samson Dowder just all of a sudden now starting to have a say in like how someone who has not doesn't look anything like him
Mm.
telling them here like yeah mate, this is what this doesn't matter, that doesn't matter, this is that, drink this, take that, this is that. He
Yeah.
doesn't do all of that because he knows, yeah, uh, this is something a bit special for me. It fits me perfectly, and I know whatever I say probably ain't gonna be the same for you, that kind of thing. And yeah, with Mike, I think he's just trying to have a voice. He
Yeah.
probably needs to pick something else in regards to that. Either way, I guess it got a bit of it got some traction, as well. Like I said, we're talking about it, so that's quite good for
Mm.
him. But in regards to the actual topic itself, 100%, you can't say that. You just
Mm.
can't. It plays a big part, and he literally is a prime example of it. But yes, no one's saying working hard is not important. We know it is because we've seen both sides of the coin. Like you said, we've seen those who use it as a crutch. So that means they don't push themselves enough. They don't go for things enough. But then we see on the other side with great genetics, and it's like they're just waiting for things to happen.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, I mean, I shouldn't need to do that, should I? This kind of thing, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no.
Mm.
So that, because also genetic levels, again, it all differs. And in reading his post, the other funny thing was he was even talking about, yes, the nutrition, it's this and that. We're like, Yeah, you do know genetics also plays a part in stuff
Yeah.
like that too. Like every that it's not the same. This is why again, you can't just say to someone, yeah, just follow this
Mm,
nutrition as well, and it's gonna do the exact same digesting everything and all that for you. It's like, no, it's not gonna be the case.
yeah.
So yeah, that's why it's such a big factor either way. And yes, 100%, it's always gonna be down to the individual in regards to what they do with if they have great genetics, or if they don't, what you go from there. I think like for me personally, my best example, the way I use it is for those who randomly don't have an idea about bodybuilding and they're like, oh, why don't you go assisted? If that's where the money's at and where things are at from what I'm hearing, why don't you do it? That's when
Mm.
I use genetics because I'm like, okay, as much as I work hard and I do this and do that, and I'm not limiting myself. The reality is, though, no matter what I take, and if I go the ridiculous amount, low amount, whatever you want to talk about of hormones and all growth hormones and everything and steroids, you know, it's all it's going to do is just literally enhance my current what I have. It's not going to add new things.
Yeah.
It's not going to change the bone structure. It's not going to change my short torso, long legs. It's not going to the long arms, and it doesn't the forearms that look tiny compared to my frame, that kind of thing. So then
Mm.
my front double looks like there's a big hole between the forearm and bicep, that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
all it is it's going to keep growing that the same, the chest bigger than everything else because I'm genetically gifted on the chest,
Yeah.
again, that's all just gonna get a bigger version. That's all you're gonna get. My waist could still stay pretty much the same relative because obviously everything else grows out to it. But either way, it's not gonna completely change the whole structure of what I've been given, my bone structure, all those kind of things. Not gonna happen. The
No.
carbs, as much as I would love to, absolutely just change the insertion,
Yeah.
and just go from there. So yeah, that's the only time when I genetics for me, that's when I talk about it for myself. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm not doing that because there's just no point. But in regards to limiting myself, no, because at the end of the day, it's again like I tell my clients, especially with bodybuilding, a lot of it is just why not? Just keep pushing. Why not? See where it takes you. You never know unless you've tried, unless you've done that. And a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, I can't really do this. I can't. Have you tried? You know,
Mm.
that kind of thing. Is it low volume, high volume, whatever. But either way, have you tried it? The experiment does it have an effect? Does it not? Unless you've tried it, you can't just keep saying, no, no, I don't know about that. It's not going to work for me.
Yeah. No, great points there. Yeah, really, really true. And I think, yeah, if I'm going to be like charitable to him, I think he actually was well-meaning in what he was saying. He was just saying you just need to do the work and work hard. And that is true. It is true. You do have to put the work in. You got to experiment, see what works for you.
Yeah.
You've got to get the fundamentals right. But yeah, so I think it was well-meaning. But yeah, I just looked at it. I thought, yeah, it's
It's
a bit
it's the
misguided.
absolute. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
The way he worded it, it was
There's no
that.
nuance in it really at all. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's a little bit of truth in what he's saying. But yeah, yeah, he's still young, I guess. So yeah,
He's still
onto
young
this
and great physique, and
great
yeah, all
physique.
the best.
Yeah, really, really good physique. So yeah, onto this list. There's a few different ways we can do this. I think what we should do, throw a few names in the ring, see what we think. So yeah, in terms of like the greatest of all time, I
Goats.
want the
Wow.
way I want to look at this is not who's got like the most accomplished, decorated bodybuilder, who has the greatest physique of all time. I think that's how I'd like to look at it because there are some
Not
guys on this
resume.
list. Yeah, yeah. So there are some guys who are really well decorated, multiple world champions, and then there are some that are just not quite there yet, but they have that insane potential. And
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
first name I want to throw in the ring for like one of the greatest physiques of all time is actually Oscar Muscat. I think he has insane, insane physique, like a massive bubbly muscles, and like he's one of those guys that an untrained person would look at and think, "There's no way he's natty, no way at all."
100%.
And he's just got a crazy physique, and yeah, I didn't see him and Babacar at Worlds together, but yeah, my hunch would be that I'd have probably him winning. He's gets a bit more imposing, a bit more impactful. But yeah, I think yeah, definitely one of the greatest physiques in the world at the moment, and easily potential to be one of the greatest of all time.
No, I
Um,
mean, like Oscar, honestly, if he randomly watches this, like, I, yeah, like I've messaged him about, it's scary.
yeah,
It's absolutely
it's
scary.
scary.
And yeah, I've watched a lot of the footage of the Worlds, and it's just he came up against Babacar. That's literally it. Because what I mean by that is, With Oscar, that's definitely something where his potential is going to be is yeah, sky like through the roof.
Mm.
He's just still improving and nailing that final look, definitely. And I know in person, a lot of people saying, yeah, it's just like Babacar just looked sharp, the density, everything still just, and as crazy and huge Oscar is, Babacar still is like, yeah, he's no slouch.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, of
there.
course.
So again, it was literally this is what happens when you see two goats almost just
Mm.
collide, and it's like, well, but I feel like 2, 3 years down the line, it definitely could flip because
Mm.
Oscar's just improving. Because people might not know because some people probably only know from this year, but his previous pro debut, he did lose again as well. And it was to I
Brian
think
DaCosta, is it?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it there.
Mm.
And again, even the look Oscar brought there, night and day to what he brought last year,
Mm.
shows he's still improving in that line as well. Brandon as well. Which some people might say he's the GOAT. He as well in that final that he beat Oscar at.
Yep.
Again, still improving. And these are guys, even though they're not young in their training, they just, the bodybuilding is probably some people are like, oh, is it new? But again, they've been around for a while. It's
Mm.
not just out of nowhere. For them though, in regards to competing more and actually stepping on stage more, they're actually still relatively new. I
Yeah.
think they're both underneath 5 shows
Right, right. Wow.
in the career. I think they're both. I mean, hopefully they can let us know if we're wrong. But from what I can tell over the years, because yeah, Brandon only just got his pro card in 2023 when he did
Yeah.
his run to the world. And I think Oscar was 2022, 2023 as well, something like
Right.
that. He got the pro card, or maybe 2021. Anyway, either way, yeah. And of course, because it's a bit different than across the pond compared to us, you can get pro card at one show. You
Mm.
get your pro card at one show. You don't have it's not like us where can only get it at a final.
Yeah, yeah.
If they qualifiers, etc. And then you got that one shot at that one pro card at the final. Whereas, in the States, completely different. A lot more shows to go you can go to, and literally that show you win the overall.
Hmm.
So there.
Yeah.
So
That
um
makes sense.
so yeah, no, yeah, literally those two was ridiculous. But yeah, with Oscar, I just how do you have what is it, 22 inches arms?
I think it's
Like
like 21 inches, but I heard on a podcast, I think it was on Longevity Muscle, that before he started training, he had 16-inch arms. It's like that's
you
just ridiculous. It's like,
I'm not even gonna
yeah.
say my measurements, but let's just say
Yeah.
when he started. Yeah, we're still around there, mate.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah, yeah,
saying, me
yeah.
personally, and
Yeah.
that's and this is where, yeah, honestly, genetics, I could literally just tell you, yeah, this is where it can get deflated for some people.
Mm,
It's,
yeah, it's so true.
yeah, if I tell you my training years, and even
Mm,
trying to train as a bodybuilder, and I'm telling you, yeah, I haven't got a 4 inches increase in my arms.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, this is where
same.
it can be painful. Just sit there.
Yeah.
But no, again, honestly, such a great physique.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
And he does all the stuff like he does all the big moves. He does all the intricate work. I think he's more of a high volume guy from what I can tell as well.
Yeah, I think so.
High
His
volume
training
stuff.
sessions look long.
Yeah, I think and he just loves that. Like, yeah, apparently it takes him like 3, 4 hours, like
Mm,
2 sessions. And it's just a classic, just keep pounding.
mm.
But then you can't try and say, oh, but he doesn't really lift heavy up. He
He
does that too.
does. Yeah, yeah. He does.
He does all sorts of it. A lot of intricate stuff as well, which again, he's not trying to preach. He's very clear. He's just like, look, this works for
Mm,
me. I'm not saying you have to do it. Like for example, somersault squats. Some people will be like, what the heck?
right.
Yeah. Again, it works the quads a lot better, apparently, that kind of thing. So yeah, you can't then this is where you can't always just go and look at all the goats and go, all right, what are they doing? I'm just gonna do exactly that.
Mm,
It's not always gonna mean it's gonna work for you.
it's not, is it?
Um, but
Yeah,
yeah.
a couple of actually other names I wanted to mention. Actually, these are guys who did go enhance, but were incredible natties. One is Kai Green, apparently at the 2007 Worlds, he was amazing. Another is Lee Priest. Seeing Lee Priest pictures as I think natural, I don't know, but you can tell Lee Priest genetics are just one in a million. They're just
That one I have
ridiculous.
to go with what I heard,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Because
There's
a
no
lot of
doubt
pictures.
that there's no
Yeah,
doubt that even when he was natty, he must look ridiculous. So I think he was like 14 or 16 with
yeah.
like bubbly muscles that you don't see on a physique very very often at all. So yeah,
No.
those two, and yeah, the pictures obviously of Kai Green. yeah, he was incredible as a natural bodybuilder.
And also, like he nailed it as well. Like from the looks of it, like it wasn't like he looked a bit, like, oh yeah, it's great potential, and it was a bit fluffy or whatever. Like, but like he looked really like, yeah, he nailed his condition as well straight away.
Mm,
Like that kind of thing. Kind of remind me of what's it called Sean Clarita as well. When he
yeah,
first was natural as well, like he like got that in the bag, but he already knew how to get conditioned and everything. And yeah, just again, it's just ridiculous. And obviously, we know the potential what happened when he did go to the sister side.
yeah.
I think for me, like again, obviously thinking about this when you were saying like we'll probably might dive into this. It was a very difficult one for me because first of all, with natural bodybuilding, it's something I didn't know about for a while. And for me, the only thing that quickly drew my attention was kind of physiques I was already naturally thinking about and look, yeah, that really inspired me. And for me, as I've told you in the past, comic books were the main thing for me. Black
Mm,
Panther, like I was like, mate, anything that looks like Black Panther, yeah, I'm into this. That's what I'm going for.
yeah.
And the first person that popped up randomly, because someone I was following who was involved with BMBF, that kind of thing, and just popped out of nowhere, was seeing Rob Hope on
Mm.
stage. I was like, what is that? And for him, he goes in that category of someone where you will look at him in clothes and everything, you think, nah, like
Mm.
what's so special? What are you talking about? If you saw him like just randomly that with his clothes and everything, and somebody be like, yeah, that guy, ridiculous. You'd be like, hey, what you know about?
Yeah,
Clothes came off, and you're like, what on earth
yeah,
is
yeah.
again, same like it was, yes, you had the round fullness, the muscle bellies, but then it's the structure.
Mm.
And again, he's not like he's 6 foot or anything, but it just on the stage, it was a presence. I remember his back double bicep, the width,
Yeah,
wow. And then you got the not detail of like, oh, nice lines. No, no, as in like the blocks are coming out at you.
yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, rhomboids, yeah, I can see them. It's like coming, it's popping
3D.
out. The lats are, yeah, I can, yeah, that's the right, that's the left, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's not a fine line detail. It's literally like coming out there, 3D kind of thing. So yeah, he definitely popped into mind.
yeah. It's
For
funny. I met Rob actually. Not it wasn't after my first show last year, and I met him in the gym, and he said to me, "Oh, do you compete at the weekend?" 'Cause I think as I still had my tan on, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah."
yeah,
And I didn't, I knew, I kind of knew he was, but I wasn't sure. So I was like, he said, "I'm Rob. He's nice to meet you," and he's such a
yeah,
humble guy,
yeah,
really nice guy. And I'd love to get him on the podcast and chat because that'd be an interesting one. But yeah, yeah, really nice guy, and his physique's ridiculous. There's a back double shot of him, and yeah,
yeah,
you're right. It just, yeah, barely looks human. It's crazy. Yeah.
yeah. I
He
know.
would, he's got to be up there. He's got to be up there with one of the all-time greats
Definitely,
for sure.
definitely.
Yeah,
And
who
like I
else? Who else
said,
you got? I'm curious.
again, so yeah, so going off of again of how that trend of how things picked up.
Mm,
There was then a time in I believe it was 2011 or 2012, I think it was. I again random, but I stumbled across a YouTuber, Ryan Doris.
mm,
And he was probably one of the first few people who were, again, really like, actually doing vlogs on show days and stuff like that and leading up to shows, peak weeks and everything. Um, and he filmed, it was an overall between him and Cleveland Thomas. And yeah, again, I was just like ridiculous. And obviously, as we know, you might not know, but Cleveland went on to then obviously become an IPB pro as well. Actually won some pro shows as well. Some people question if he was still natural, but either way, again, just showing the potential of those guys. But honestly, recommend if anyone can, like, if you go onto YouTube and type Ryan Doris versus Cleveland Thomas, see what I'm talking about. Like, it was an overall battle, and literally toe for toe, you're like every pose for pose, like you're like which one? Like both of them, like it's not like one was way sharper and one was just a bit more shaped. Like no shape, conditioning, muscle bellies, fullness. It was all both of them had it, and it was just like what is going on? And then as well, they're both literally feeling it as well, which was really cool. Like they're about to get into a pose, and one is like trying to like nudge him out, like mate,
right.
like, was like, come on, like no, like it was such a great atmosphere to see, and it's something like I wish I could have seen in person. But that's a video where I've watched it so many times
Yeah.
back then. which was like really, really cool. So yeah, Randall's, Cleveland Thomas. And then from there, it went to Siobhan Cunningham.
Mm.
Great, another great bodybuilder. Someone I randomly have also had been able to chat with, which was really cool through Chris Barakat, who coached him, a good friend of his, like a great friend of his, as well. So yeah, those were the first ones basically that always pops to mind because that's literally where it started for me, especially with natural building and bodybuilding in general. That's it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, great. Yeah, a great few bodybuilders there. Yeah, yeah, really, really cool. Um, Moving on, I'm gonna you list a few more, see what you think. So yeah, I've got
We
Doug
got
Miller.
we can say loads, can't
There's
we?
me loads more. There's me loads. Doug Miller and David Kay and
Yeah.
Nate Williams. Nate Williams. So those three are on my list, and they're definitely very different physiques. Again, like Doug Miller has this. He's got the kind of roundness, like the 3D look to his physique, obviously, and like Oscar Muscat, he's got the most ridiculous arms. You know, they must be 20 inches. They maybe were at their peak.
Yeah.
Whereas Nathan Williams, a lot more kind of aesthetic, you could say, like really short torso, long limbs,
Very
but
clean.
incredibly aesthetic. But when he turns around and hits that back double, his V taper is just, yeah, it's next level. And obviously, yeah, David Kay, just like incredibly complete bodybuilder, I'd say. It's like so complete. That's what I think of when I think of David Kay. It's just, it's a complete look and just so grainy. It's like almost, how would I describe it? Yeah, I'd say complete is the best way you could describe David Kay's physique,
I
but it's
know what you mean.
dense.
It's a strange one with David K because and it's not a bad thing, but he doesn't have a big body part that just jumps
No,
out at
no.
you. It
Mm.
literally all complete. And
Mm.
this is another reason why I tell people, like, again, I know it's not about resumes, but there's a reason why David K has that resume. And it's because I feel like because this is why some people don't understand, especially when judging, just because you have a freakish body part sometimes it might throw off the
Mm.
balance of everything. And when you got David K next to you, yeah, that's like literally that's food and drink for him. Like with his
Yeah.
physique, it makes him look better. It stands out even better because,
Mm.
like again, like you said, if you want to list things with David K, you're gonna literally go from head to toe.
Yeah, yeah. There's
The
no
calves,
gaps. Yeah.
the calves match the physique,
Mm.
the quads perfect, not sweet,
Mm.
not it's not ridiculously too big. It's not like yeah, that is way too big, and it's not like he's got assisted guys quads and then everything else is just catching up or anything. No,
Mm.
just right. The
Yeah.
detail. I think I remember
Mm.
2022 what's it called Grand Prix.
Mm.
I could literally put my finger into his like onto all the details in his quads. Like that's how
Yeah.
deep they were, the cuts. It's not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
separations, the cuts and everything. And then it wasn't like he had a uniquely feathers or anything like Robert Thompson.
Mm.
Who we all know about his crazy, cross striation quads.
Yeah.
No, it
Crazy.
wasn't like one of the best quads you ever see, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then it goes into the waist perfectly.
Mm.
And then the lats complement the front lats, front relaxed and everything perfectly as well. Then you go into the arms. Yeah, they're not 21 inches, but
Mm.
no, they're still, I don't know what they are, but still, they
Yeah, they're
look
gonna be
it
big. Yeah. Yeah.
compared to his physique. Forearms, other than that. You go to the back, obviously, we know he's the deadlift king. Yeah, it
Yeah.
shows the density, everything. But then it's not crazy wide, crazy deep.
Mm.
No, it's just right.
Yeah.
The glute striated, and again, it's not because he's just focused on the glute striation in dieting. No, it's the muscle. He just has that much muscle. It complements the whole physique so that when he's fully on, there's nothing where it looks like, yeah, that part of the body's over dieted and that one still has a little more to go. No, everything is just perfect. Hamstrings, like you listed on it, it's ridiculous.
Mm.
And Doug Miller, again, like you described it perfectly as well. Yep, those roundness, the fullness, just the
Mm.
big. I think the best way with Doug Miller is like he's your classic natural bodybuilder where the muscle just literally screams at you.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of aggressive, like a Branch Warren, who is
Mm.
the sister side. When you look at him, it's like yeah, bullish muscle and everything. Doug Miller kind of like has that
Yeah.
again, but then he has the freakish body parts where his arms probably like his main thing there,
Yeah.
and his back as well. Again, back double biceps, that kind of thing. And then yes, Nathan, I think yeah, it's your classic. If you went around doing, if you had like a mic and you just going to people on the street
Hmm.
think would you like to have for yourself? If you literally could just have a wish and like my version of this exactly, copy and paste, but with
Yeah.
my skin, my face, everything, and all that. I think people will pick out Nathan. Like
Mm.
that, he will probably be your aesthetically pleasing physique and that kind of thing. And yeah, so yeah, those guys, yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous, and pretty much people where I feel like it's a cheat code that they found bodybuilding,
Yeah, yeah.
that a kid like it's like so perfectly suited for them. I think for me, those guys I would have mentioned.
Hmm.
Next up, the ones that come into mind are Sam Watts.
Mm.
Definitely have to shout him out because again, it's just someone who does freakish stuff in the gym because obviously he's a power lifter as well.
Yeah.
And I think he deadlifts 350, 60 or something like
Right.
that.
Wow. Yeah.
British records and stuff like that, squatting ridiculous numbers as well. But the way, but then also the way he does it, like it's like the form, everything is just
Mm.
unbelievable. But then also his physique is just, yeah, it's like, goodness, like what is that? Like
Mm.
again, you just look at him there. Adrian Gray, great guy. I actually met him again yesterday. Saw him yesterday.
Okay.
He works with, he does a lot of the hosting at PCA. So really cool to see him again yesterday. And yeah, still when I went to go shake him and give him a little hug, the arms.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, how do you have arms like this? That's natural. Like again, like, that kind of thing. But then he had the great, just the small waist, and
Yeah.
and hence why he was, he's known as like your classic king, so to say. Like he had such a great aesthetic physique that just complements that so well. And yeah, he was someone who, yeah, in his time, when he was on a natural scene, did a
Mm.
lot, did a lot of damage, and give a lot of guys some frights as well because as he is opposing king himself, he was always going to present. He was going to make sure he will out-present you on that stage, and
Mm.
and not just all flair stuff. No, like it was every quarter and the mandatories hit perfectly, holding
Yeah.
them, smiling, everything, and you're just like, does this guy not quit? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any. Okay, I'm tired. Or I just want this to be
Mm.
done. No, he looks like someone who's like, yeah, I can do this all day. That
Yeah.
kind of thing. So yeah, those guys I have to mention definitely. Brian Whittaker, we said that yet?
No, no, he's another one, isn't he? Because he was one of the first that brought like the next level kind of conditioning, wasn't he, back in the day? Like the really straight glutes and
He's my
really
classic
well put together.
hardworking natural.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Mm.
because I don't think he had any trump cards going into shows, but he just literally just like built a physique that it was hard to deny it a lot of
Mm.
times. And when he did beat some of the genetic greats, a lot of people are like, are we sure? Like, and that's why I always give it to him, like someone who like throws a spanner in the works. Like that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking, Brian. I don't know if he likes that term,
Yeah, yeah.
but no, he works so hard, and I'm not trying to say, oh, you just worked hard so that you could be a spoiler. No, I'm not. That's not what I mean. I just feel like it didn't seem like you had the great start. Basically,
Right.
you have the great genetics. You just like, yeah, there you go. You've got this. Just work a bit more on top of that. You'll be fine. He looks like you're classically someone who built it from the ground up, so to say, that
Mm.
physique. And yeah, still racked up a great resume as well, even though we're not talking about that. But his physique, yeah, conditioning wise, I think he changed the game for a lot of people.
Mm.
That there.
You did, yeah, yeah. I agree. That's a good addition to the list. A couple I've been they're on my list actually. That I think now, correct me if I'm wrong. You might know this. I think they may have gone down the assisted route now, but they
Mm.
might not have done. One is that Fabian Farid. Is that his name? The German guy.
Yes.
I don't know if he's going down this route. I heard it. I think it was from Natty News Daily. And another one is Patrick Tush is his name, the German. Another one,
Yeah.
absolute monster. Like
Yeah.
those two, I think. Yeah. I mean, obviously different people. I think Patrick especially looks a bit grainier, a bit harder. I remember his physique is one that just he's got that kind of aggressive look at me, like look you were telling me about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Fabian is just humongous. But yeah, I don't know if they've gone down the assist route, but even as
Def-
naturals, those
they
guys are
definitely have.
absolutely
Yeah.
huge, have they?
Yeah. Definitely have both of
Right.
them. But yeah. 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 Either way, yeah. As naturals, ridiculous.
Mm.
The reason why they were at the top of the game. Had the pleasure of meeting both of them in person.
Oh, cool.
Fabian 2022 when I went out to LA for Worlds. That's where he had his first Worlds and obviously absolutely dominated. Yeah. His conditioning, but again, it was aggressive. Like
Mm.
you seen vascularity on levels that you're just like, whoa, that's just gnarly. But then on top of that, everything was just so hard. Like the whole physique was hard and brutal.
Mm.
And again, it didn't feel like it was like, oh, he has the best flowing or anything. No, no, it was just
Mm.
yeah, it was just all that grainy hard and it was amazing physique.
Mm,
And yeah, Patrick Torch, yeah. Again, as we all know, yeah, literally big, immense muscle. His
yeah.
music to routines is aggressive, like
Is
his
it right? I haven't
compliments
actually
him as
seen.
well. Yeah, like again, so again, it just shows with that. And yeah, he's also just both of them literally around the same time, just jumped and assisted. With Patrick is as I think he explained in his video, because he's now qualified for this year's Olympia, because he won the Ben Wielder Pro Natural Show, which qualifies you for the Olympia.
Hmm.
He just said, look, with this opportunity, he doesn't want to go into there feeling like he's, yeah, going there with fight, going to a fight with a spoon, so to say, kind of thing. He wants to see, he's like, I might as well. Now, even though he's not young, which is interesting because
Is it not?
I think he's in his 30s, I
Yeah.
believe. But he's the way he's seen it, and yeah, he's like, yeah, this is if he's gonna do it, this is the time, and yeah, he just wants to see if he can, yeah, make some noise in the pro ranks, IFBB pro ranks, and see how it goes. So yeah, excited to see how that one looks as well for him. But yeah, those two physiques, great shout, absolutely
Yeah.
great
And
shout.
another German as well. Someone we saw at DFAC Worlds, Julian Brusk, is that his name?
Yeah,
Julian. Yeah, crazy physique. And he on the other end of the spectrum, he is young. He's like 20. Is he early or mid
I think he's
20s?
25 from what I
Yeah.
heard last year. I think he's 25.
Mm.
Look at maybe if you just like just see the face,
Yeah, yeah.
and somehow block out everything else that's screaming at you. It's just see the
Mm.
face. Okay, maybe I see the 25, but everything else and the way he carries himself, because again, like at that Worlds, there's one point he was obviously just post tan and everything, but this guy was so comfortable in his own skin. He was walking around the whole venue, literally pretty much butt naked kind of
Right,
thing.
right, right.
And I'm just like, yeah, this guy has no cares. Like he's
Mm.
like, I'm here to do a job, and this
Yeah.
physique's about to do it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of guys competing were pretty much like, oh gosh, gotta step on
Mm.
stage with that. So that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's another one. Yeah, again, yes, some qualities and everything, but yeah, again, very, yeah, it's in your face, that physique.
Yeah.
It's,
I think the only thing he might be lacking is that kind of hard graininess that some of the older guys do have. There's and he's not to call him soft would be ridiculous because he's not soft at all. He's
I think
very,
this
very
might be
lean.
where it's the maturity there,
Yeah.
the muscle maturity. So and if he dominated the way he is
Mm.
without getting to that yet, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
scary. It's,
Yeah, I think he
it,
could be he might not be one of the greats yet, but he's got potential, I think, to be one of the greatest of all time for sure. But he's
yeah,
definitely up there regardless.
and 100% again. We've already mentioned him, Babacar.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, again, another one who I think he's in the realm, and that's why I would have loved to have seen a Babacar versus David K.
It's
I
never happened, is
think
it?
no, and I think they both have that complete physique look. But David, I love you. But I think Babacar might have a bit more X factor, a bit more. I think
Okay.
that might trump it because and I think, like I said, that's why he beats someone like Oscar.
Mm,
Because Babacar doesn't just have the complete, which is interesting because again, he's not that tall. Some of
mm,
at his height, most bodybuilders probably look more compact.
yeah,
Um, but he has aesthetic with it as well, like and
yeah,
everything. Then on top of that, yeah, Babacar just has some ridiculous like hard in your face muscle as well. And then the roundness as well. The full muscle bellies again goes with him and with his physique. Like for example, I think Babacar does not, of all the guys we mentioned, he probably does not have the most striated glutes out of all of them.
hmm
And yet it's nothing that is, it's not a negative on him at
mm,
all. And it was a flip side to it too, because I know some people go, "Oh, striated glutes ain't that big a deal," and then look at Babacar, I'm like, "Yeah, he's Babacar.
yeah,
Don't. No one's saying striated glutes are the thing, but also
mm,
don't use that as your example either way. Like that's a complete physique."
yeah,
So there, and again, I'm not saying David K's physique has anything to do with striated glutes, but it just comes naturally with it because that's what he has. It comes
yeah,
with he hasn't tried anything special for that. That's him brutally working. I don't even think he does direct glute work from what I can, from
no,
what I,
no,
that kind of thing. So it's just him just building so much muscle that yeah, his glutes just decided to grow ridiculously big.
mm,
Try the glutes. But yeah, that's those guys there, and then you got probably people who are more of your younger as well, like I mentioned, Robert Thompson Jr. from the
yeah,
Cayman
yeah,
Islands. Um, Daniel Kubik, again, very aesthetically pleasing. I think again, it's not a knock on you. It looks more of a flashier. more flashy, the physique, it's like more flow and everything to it.
Yeah.
It's like oh, this very nice commercial kind of thing. And then you got people who have to mention that I'm not saying they're goats, but potential to be definitely. I think that's where we're going now with that with the rest of this list. But I just feel
Mm.
like it's only because we haven't seen them do that many shows or international. Like someone like Solomon, King Saul, so we know him as turned pro in 2019. He still hasn't done his pro show. Did
Right,
his
right, okay.
hasn't done it. Saw him last year, and he's like, yeah, he's just waiting for the right time. I know
Mm.
he personally was annoyed when he missed out on David and Nathan being on the same stage in
Yeah.
2022. He didn't know they were going to do it that year. He was like, yeah, I would have jumped on if it was then because that's the other thing is again with these pros, and most of them they are looking to go up against the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Contrary to what people think, they're not just out here like, oh, I just want to jump on shows and win this and win that. A lot of them is because they just want to see, am I the best?
Mm.
I'm a pro now, but am I the best of all pros? And a lot of these guys, that's their main focus. So yeah, like Solomon, King Saul, and you got people like Liam Paul, Turn Pro 2022. I'm not, I don't think people understand what we saw that year out of
Right,
Liam.
right.
But someone again who's progressing because I know he's still, the legs brought up a lot for that
Hmm.
2022 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when he told me, he said his first showing in 2020 or 2021, David K personally told him like, you got future. Like,
Mm.
you're going to be in the pro rank soon. I'll see you soon. Like he told him
Yeah.
that. He wasn't wrong.
No.
But yeah, he presented in 2022. Oh goodness. Like I can't. It looked like a mini Ronnie Coleman back double bicep. That's the best way I can
Right.
put it. Like
Uh-huh.
that's the kind of craziness that he brought. And excited to see his pro debut. Gene as well. Another again. Excited to see his pro debut. I think he's doing it this year.
Okay.
So yeah, that'd be exciting. Again, someone who is I'm not gonna say a height. I don't know exactly, but he ain't tall.
Hmm.
But he weighs a lot. Like I
Yeah,
think his
yeah.
latest update, he's weighing in the mid 80s or high 80s kgs.
Uh-huh.
And if you see his height and everything, you'd be like,
Mm.
and he's got abs. His abs are already showing, and everything. It's not like he's like a messy mid 80s or high. He's like basically it looks like someone who is he could possibly step on stage at 80 kg. And for
Hmm.
his height, that's ridiculous. Because he turned pro as a middleweight.
Right,
So
right.
that just goes
Okay.
to show how much density he's packing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that he just looks like I don't think I can compare it to anyone, but it's just more of that compact, but yet again brutal physique, like just there, like in regards to
Yeah.
muscle bellies and everything there. But yeah, those are my up and comers, guys. We can
Yeah,
definitely
that's
think
really
they could
cool.
push for that.
Yeah.
Do
You've
you have
got
any more up and comers or
not really, because with up and comers it's hard. It's a hard one, isn't it? Because you've got guys who are just starting out, maybe had a few seasons and they've got potential, but it's hard to assess where that potential is going to go. And then you've got up and comers in that they might have just turned pro, but
yeah,
they're the next level up. But
it might be
how
a
good are
gap.
they going to be
Yeah,
against the world's best?
yeah.
Um, I'd like to narrow it down. I'd like to, if you can, if we had to
Oh
pick a top
gosh.
three, if we're going to pick a top three of each.
Uh,
So I'm gonna attempt this first. So I think it's my head is saying, yeah, Rob Hope, David Kay, Doug Miller as a top three. Yeah, yeah. That's yeah, so many good ones. But Oscar Mosca, I think his physique is so ridiculous that even though he's not as proven as those guys, he's kind of knocking on the door for me. But yeah, I'd love to hear
yeah,
your.
because Oscar is someone where when he nails it, he could probably just beat them all.
I think it could happen. I really do.
So
Yeah.
that I have to put Babacar in there. I
Mm.
just have to. Babacar is in there for me. Because yeah, I don't think people realize how crazy that physique is. Like I said that. Honestly, Anthony, after this, I'm gonna send you like floods of videos of Babacar. All right, on stage. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need to. I don't think you understand.
Oh no, it is. I know it is ridiculous.
I
Yeah.
think Babacar has to be there, but then also I think David K has to be in there because I truly believe David and Babacar would be the one to see at the moment.
Mm,
Like I said, I'm not talking about Oscar, who I think genuinely, like I just said, when he's finally nailed it all, I think yeah, he might just beat them all.
mm.
But at the moment, I think it's David versus Babacar. Third, oh man, I do like Rob Hope. I love Rob. This is tough.
I wish there were better pictures of Rob Hope because we're going on like the old grainy
Yeah, it's
pictures
such a
from like
pass.
20.
And this is where like just hearing people like Vicky and Guy and other DFAC pros talk about him a lot more than anything as well. Because with Rob, like I say, even what I saw was literally just a random pictures. Like that was it.
Mm,
Of that of a show. And then another picture was even when he was, I think they were in, I don't know what country they were in. I think it was Miami Worlds or something like that. And him, Vicky, and some other people were literally just in the gym training, and he was just doing a flex off, like with a
mm.
bicep. And just that picture alone, I was like, "What is that?" Like
Yeah, I
that
know that
kind of thing.
picture. Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of wows there. But I can't do my third. I
No,
can't
no.
do it. I don't know. Yeah, Doug. Yeah, but I can't. No, I don't know. What else have we said? Maybe it is Oscar actually. No, no, no.
Put you on
Mm.
the spot. For me, it's got to be Doug Miller. So freaky.
The joke is with Nathan. The reason why not Nathan Williams for me as well is because I feel like he's got more.
That's what Vicky said in the podcast recently, didn't she? That he
Yeah,
hasn't he
I
hasn't
believe
peaked
it
yet.
with that. And again, he's another one where, you just have to ask him, like, what would you do you want to be the GOAT of all GOATs? Like, do you,
Mm,
want to be like, because again, like nothing is like he's got so much going on outside of it as well, bodybuilding as well. So why
mm.
not? I mean, we're talking about David K. He's a lawyer now, isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah,
That like that's the other thing about the cool thing about these guys. They really are just like, yeah, it's got other things in life as well. It's not bodybuilding. Like
yeah, yeah,
Oscar has been doing, he's a great, like, again, so many things outside of bodybuilding a lot of people don't know about, but everybody just knows about his training now and his
mm.
physique. But yeah, again, he's a grown person, grown
He's an
man.
interesting guy. Yeah, I've heard him on the podcast. Yes.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
No, that's cool. No, so I'll let you off. I'll let you off.
Can't do it, man.
I'll get you back
Actually,
on
no,
another
let me
time.
not be that guy. Hold on. Let me not be that guy. Let me not be that guy. Rob. I think for Babacar and David, we got to throw in someone that is got to really try and just like really try and mess things up. Yeah, it's Doug. It's Doug Miller.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Doug Miller. Doug Miller. Because I think yeah. Between them two, you then get this guy. He'll just hit a most muscular or something. You'll be like, whoa, like that kind of thing. I think that's what will happen, and or because that's the other thing with Babacar. Like he literally only hits one mo most muscular. He doesn't really do much else.
yeah,
He doesn't like to do crabs or anything like that. So yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
think I think Doug Miller will be a nice one
okay.
to go there. Imagine that overall.
Yeah,
Gosh,
what that would be wild, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, well that's the coolest. You've got Doug Miller, David Kay, and Babacar, and I've got Doug Miller, Rob Hope, and who else?
David.
David Kay. Yeah.
Just
So yeah,
just
similar.
the Babacar and Rob Hope sort of swap out there.
Swapped around. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think we've done pretty well there. Um,
Yeah, I'm getting a
yeah.
headache now. I don't know.
No, no, no. Yeah, I'm gonna put on the YouTube version of this. I'm gonna list lots of pictures up. Obviously, I hope this will still run well as an audio as well, because a lot of people are gonna know who these bodybuilders are. But yeah, obviously having pictures there will be cool as well. So I'm gonna do a bit of homework, get some pictures up on this video. But
And disclaimer, in my mind, I beat them all, obviously.
of course, we both
My
win, right?
dreams. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I love you guys all, but yeah, no, like I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Come
yeah. You're
on.
number one, mate.
Yeah. Again, this is what I
Um,
told my wife on. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, exactly. Even though you're not 6 foot anymore, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm clinging on to some of these things, yeah. And technically it's not a lie because we haven't really been up against each other yet. So
True, true. Yeah, yeah. You never know. All right. Well, we're gonna do some quick fire questions because we didn't do this in our first video. Because
oh yeah,
yeah, we didn't do this. I think I only started in my second video, and here we are on episode 17. You're back again.
just an FYI, guys. For those of you who don't know me, I hate quick fire
Do
because
you?
I like to think. I think that's why
Okay.
I'm a good coach. I like to take my time,
Right.
strategize things. I don't just do things. Boom, let's go off info.
Hmm.
But I get it. So yeah, I'm
No,
gonna
that's
try.
like to be fair. I think on my last two podcasts, the quick fire questions lasted about 10 minutes. So yeah, don't worry.
This is it.
Yeah. So favorite
Yeah.
film.
Um, Dark Knight pops up real quick in my head, but then I just had Usual Suspects pop up as
Mm.
well, and then yeah. Oh. gosh, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
I think I'll
Okay.
go with that because it just popped into my head. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that one. Go with that. Go with
Yeah,
that.
they're all great. Love them, but love them all.
But yeah, I love a lot of movies. So yeah, I could go on for ages. I
Yeah.
could Godfather one. I could have said yeah. I guess so many things will come up in my head for that.
You could have a different answer for every day, really, couldn't
Yeah,
you, for
and
that?
then because I'm a comic guy, Marvel, Infinity War.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that back in the day when those films were on, and yeah, I remember you liked Infinity War, but you didn't like Endgame. Is that right?
Yeah, I just felt like the build-up was so crazy.
Mm.
I get to Endgame. Don't get me, it was good, but
Yeah.
Infinity War, there was something about it, just especially where it started. I don't think I was
Yeah.
not just fully involved from start to finish. Like, whereas the Endgame, there were times where I could just be like talking to my wife next to me, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a long film.
Yeah.
I did like Endgame. I thought it was amazing. They were both good. Right, favorite dieting food.
Oh, dieting?
Mhm.
Simple chicken and sweet potatoes, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I know oats is still no, it's still top with me. It's one of
Mm.
them. Like I have it every day
Yeah,
on during the season, during not on prep.
always.
I pretty much have oats every day. My wife knows if she's like, "Oh, what are you having?" As in like she's not preparing anything or we're not eating together. She's like, "Oh, what are you having?" I might just say oats, to be
Yeah,
honest. But
yeah, yeah.
when it comes to dieting, sweet potatoes, some good sweet potatoes done, done right, got nice and crisp and everything. Some chicken and some veg. Yeah, I'm good.
That
That's
works. Yeah.
a good one for me. Satiety, but then also, you just get a lot, you get a bit from it, some color with it, all that kind of thing, this is that. But then oats is close to it. Pro oats, 100%.
Mm.
I think,
Yeah, I need to. That's a good answer. I need to try some more flavors of the Perform. Rukera put me on to the
hey,
sweet and salty
you're finally
popcorn.
branching out. I know you,
Yeah,
it takes a lot
yeah,
for you to do that. So well
Uh,
done.
I know exactly. I'm a
You
routine.
find a flavor, you are not letting.
I don't let go, but I know the sweet and salty popcorn is so good. I put a bit of salt on as well. In fact, that salt that you got me for my show back in the BMEF Southern, I've still got it.
So,
The,
because,
the
yeah,
pink, the
yeah.
pink Himalayan salt, I think it is. But that on popcorn flavored oats is so good. But I need to go and get some more flavors.
Have
Um,
to for perform, you have to, mate. Like, honestly,
yeah.
I don't know how to do it, but a lot of those flavors, they are literally kind of like how
Mm.
they, they go what it says on the tin. So yeah,
Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah, I'm happy to pay a bit extra for theirs because their stuff is good. Favorite off-season food?
I have to go. Yeah, got to go with my culture. Just some good old-fashioned jollof rice.
Okay.
Homemade first, but yeah,
Yeah.
some really good jollof rice basically, and some plantain and some nice beef. Nice oily, done grilled properly, that kind of thing, beef to go
Yeah.
with it. Yeah, yeah, that's got to go to old school for that. Sometimes even now, I sometimes just want to go to a Nigerian restaurant, just get something like that, and then to wash it down with some Nigerian Fanta. And for those who don't know,
Right.
it's not like normal Fanta.
It
Okay,
really, what's the difference?
it'll be banned if it was here.
Right.
Basically, it's not healthy. All
Right,
the
right, okay.
preservatives are not just full on sugar. So
Nice, nice.
best way I described it was when I was younger. My mom used to always say like just it's pretty much imagine someone took like tablespoons of sugar and just poured it in there. Like that's what it feels like you're drinking. And my goodness, your taste buds try to taste that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, wash it down with that. There we go.
Love it. That's great. And yeah, to be fair, as an off-season food, apart from the Fanta, that's probably not too unhealthy. So yeah, that's cool. What are your hobbies outside of bodybuilding, Josh?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'm a very sports guy, so I guess it doesn't really go too far away from, things. But yeah, I mean, like a big rugby guy, played it a lot. Still like football, not that big of a fan. As I
Hmm.
got older, I kind of dislike how much money's in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
doesn't sit right with me. But that's just me getting older. That's a lot of things with the world. I'm like, ain't right, that kind of thing. But no, I mean the talent wise of the players and everything, 100% great. I enjoy watching that, like World Cups, that kind of thing. But
Mm.
more rugby full on. But also like in my spare time, still comics, stuff like that, and like a big thing. It's not a hobby, but it just takes a lot of part of my life. It's just literally my relationship with God. So I spend a lot of time, reading Bibles, podcasts, everything to do around it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it floods into a lot of things in my life. So not talking about it as a hobby, but it takes up
Mm.
my time, so I don't really
Yeah.
up that much. But also. Traveling is something it's not, I don't do it that much, but I generally do enjoy. I
Mm.
wish I could do a lot more of, plan to, hope to, and hopefully my wife's not watching this because if she hears it, she'd be like, uh-huh. So we're gonna go
Oh,
on
no.
5 trips a year now, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because she is definitely a traveler. She's got some amazing places, and that's one of the reasons why I want to do it more, as well. But yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it hobby wise. Yeah. Anything else I actively do? I don't know. No, that's pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The
Yeah,
bodybuilding does take a bit. It does take a bit. It
yeah,
flies
yeah,
to a lot of things as well, especially with my coaching and everything. So
yeah.
it does take a bit. But those are like my main things there. Uh, like I'm your classic. If I'm not watching rugby, I'm still listening to a podcast on rugby,
Right,
still
right.
going over the analysis and that. Even American football, I got a bit of thing for because when I was in America,
Mm,
I played a bit, so I check up on things there. I'm watching Good Morning Show, which is like literally going over American football and the news. So
hmm.
I'm a bit of that simple. What's it called? What's the word?
Sports fan, I guess. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no, good answers there. Well, yeah, look, Josh, it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this. We've done something a bit different today, and
Yeah, man, it
yeah,
was
this has
really
been
good.
this has been cool.
It's been really good, mate.
But
And yeah, guys, yeah, put in the comments. You want to? Yeah, I don't
yeah,
mind. Come
yeah,
at us with our
yeah,
goat
we've given
talk.
you ours. Yeah, let us know
Let us
your
know if
yeah
it's
your top
absolute
three.
trash or if we're on the money or whatever. Like, let us know. Don't be quiet. Like,
Yeah,
come at us. You got. Although, I was gonna say you both got our Instagrams. You might not have mine.
yeah. I'm going to. I'll leave your
Check
links
on
in the
Anthony's.
description.
But yeah, I'm not going into that on this. Don't worry. But yeah,
Sorry
but
for
yeah,
another day.
honestly, come on us guys with that. That'll be really cool to know because honestly, there's some people we don't even know about. Because
That's
right now
true.
I remembered one. Was it I forgot his name. Something Carrera. Like oh gosh, he was another freakish bodybuilder. Had some great shoulders and arms. I need to get that up. I'll talk to you about it later. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
some
do.
people could just pop out of nowhere. So yeah, yeah. Please let us know,
Yeah,
guys.
let us know, guys, and yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you all for watching and listening, and we will see you next time.
Take care, man.
Cheers.